Tick tock.
Tick tock. Tick tock.
Careful, honey.
I'm sorry, I don't have anything more interesting.
It's pretty interesting to him.
Okay.
The problem is that there's too many things that are interesting. Should I put the dogs on the track? Should I come here, look. The dog on the track.
So Shayla, Ava, what's new with you?
What?
What's new with you?
Oh, besides school, that's
Something
what.
for what's happening.
Wow. No, there's no fish in the mine. It's not mine for fish. Maybe we should go down to the easier for
There's no concept of force in the impending birth of a new.
Nothing at all. It's going to be a very hard surprise. And he doesn't get all the attention anymore. Right, Shalane?
Start asking them to keep him busy.
I don't know what we can do. Shalane, you want to play with the tracks?
More if you want to be in with it.
I'd have to be in.
Oh.
I want to know, what are your top 3 short stories?
What are the what?
Your top 3 favorite short stories.
Oh. Well, I don't remember the authors' names. But there's, of course, O. Henry, any O. Henry.
Any O. Henry stories?
Yeah, a good short story. Any O. Henry story. And of course, the Gift of the Magi is the one at the top of the list. You know that one?
That's the one. Isn't that the monkey's paw?
She cuts off her hair to raise money to buy a watch fob for the watch that he has, that he sells, to buy a special beautiful brush to comb her hair. It's an old Henry story, very famous one. There's another short story that has to do with the two doors. Where's the tiger? Every door.
Yeah, yeah.
Which door has
It's
the
called
tiger?
the Hungry Tiger.
Yeah. And of course the prize of them all, the unicorn in the garden, where a husband imagines he sees a unicorn, and his wife thinks he's out of his mind. She calls the authorities, and he convinces the authorities that she's the one that saw the unicorn, and they take her away to a mental hospital instead of him. There's no question of the fact that O. Henry, in my opinion, was the master short story writer. He wrote many of them. The Ransom of Red Chief, did you ever read that?
Sure.
The Potion of Ike, something or other. Another
The
famous
pearl
one.
necklace is his too, right?
The Pearl Necklace. The Pearl Necklace. That was a
was a book.
French author, wasn't it?
Maybe. No, there's a short story. What about that?
De Maupassant. Did I answer your question?
Kind of. You didn't say which one you like the best, though. You said any O. Henry one.
The one that I like the best actually, it's called The Love Potion of somebody or other, where one of the characters wants to make
Whoa.
one of the characters wants to make a person love him more. So he buys a love potion. Instead, however, giving it to the girl, there's a mix-up there where the wrong person gets the love potion and falls asleep and the elopement does not come off. It's a mixed up kind of thing. But I still come back to O. Henry. You know what the classic line about O. Henry is? O. Henry was dying of consumption. And he lay in his hospital bed, and this was just shortly before he died. The nurse tiptoed in, as they did in those days, and pulled the shades down to make the room dark when a person was dying. And O. Henry, as she was about to leave the room, O. Henry called her back to the nurse, please come back a minute. So she turned back and came to the bed, and he said, please raise the blinds. I've always been afraid to go home in the dark. That's a famous O. Henry quote.
What about your favorite piece of classical music?
I think the favorite piece of classical music, you believe it or not, is there are two pieces. One of them is the Moonlight Sonata by Beethoven. And the other one is the I'm trying to remember who the composer was. I don't remember who the composer is, but they say Gypsy Airs, I think is the name of it. Very famous violin piece.
Is Beethoven your favorite composer?
I think so.
Shelly wants to hear a tape, Zayda.
Sorry?
Shelly wants to hear a tape.
Wants to hear a tape?
He wants to hear a tape.
Shalom, do you want to hear some music? Musician is different pieces of music you put together, or what's the theme going across?
These were songs that we sang in the choir many years ago when I was a little boy. I took some of the melodies and changed them and rearranged them and wrote them for simple orchestra instead of a real choir.
So they're really pieces of chazanos?
They were based upon choir pieces.
The choir of a Jewish choir.
Yes. True choir.
So they're all parts of tefillah. They're all parts of davening?
Yeah.
Want to go downstairs?
It won't be any better. speaking in the synagogue more than the davening?
I'd hear a good Rav speak, deliver a good sermon, rather than listen to a good piece of music sung by a choir.
So I think that's missing today?
I'm sorry,
You think it'd be nicer and it would be better if they had more,
more music.
yeah.
Absolutely. As a matter of here in Baltimore, they recently organized a boys and men's choir consisting of maybe close to 50 people.
For davening or no?
Now they sang, I went to a concert, they sang choir pieces that had been popular in the heyday of Chazanut. Very beautiful, very wonderful. And they sang a couple of numbers that I used to sing even.
You used to make up a lot of what you're saying also, didn't you?
That's right, I wrote.
I remember every time you said every time you'd chazan, you make one thing. You always pick something that you would make it up, right? Almost ad hoc.
That's right.
Is it
One
your
of
book?
my favorite numbers is on this.
This one?
After that,
What are the words to your favorite one?
Kedusha, the second Kedusha, the Musa. Naritzcha v'nagdishcha. That's it.
Do you know who wrote it originally? Who wrote the music originally?
Yeah.
Who? Who wrote it?
I wrote it.
Oh, you wrote it. No wonder it's your favorite piece.
Single.
This is still for Nagdisha v'Naritzach, right?
Sorry.
This is still from Nagdishach v'Naritzach, from the first lines of Kedusha?
Naritzcha v'nagdishcha.
Yeah. There's one part, I think when you used to be chazan, and Dad used to do it too in Kedusha, where's the tune from? Erev avoker b'chol yom tamid, pamayim b'yahava shema omrim. Is that something you made up?
That's one I made up.
Oh, okay, because Dad always used to do that one too. I was wondering. So that's your original piece.
It is my original. Erev avoker b'chol yom tamid, pamayim b'yahava shema omrim.
Zayda, sing the Naritzcha that you like.
The Naritzcha?
Yeah. I want to hear you.
From when I was a boy soprano, or boy alto more correctly, the shul choir in Rochester. And it was sung as a march. Naritzcho, basses, Naritzcho, Naritzcho, and Haritzcho. Kisoetz yasapei kodesh, ta-da-ta-ta, Kisoetz yasapei kodesh, Hamagdishim, V'shimcha, Hamagdishim, V'shimcha, Shimcha b'kodesh, Shimcha b'kodesh. Basis. Hamagdishim. Very complicated but beautiful, the march song. We used to have, when a chazan used to come through Rochester, a visiting chazan, we would all flock to the shul where he was davening, and we would sit there, and he would daven in the time when Shabbos Musaf would end at 1:30, 2 o'clock in the afternoon. And we never walked out, stayed to attempt to have the chazan say something a little bit longer than normal. Everybody starts to grumble.
That's true. Or they walk out.
And they walk out.
How many people were in the Rochester choir when you were in it?
Well, there were 4 basses, 4 tenors, 8 altos, and 8 sopranos.
All right.
16 and 8. There were 24 people.
And what were you?
I was a boy soprano.
And did you
I'm
move?
sorry, boy alto.
And did you switch around after your voice changed, or?
Well, I used to help to train the other singers. I read notes when I was 8 years old already. This was Tanzania. Hello?
Hi,
Yeah,
you got company?
yeah. I'm waiting for your call.
Everything's going okay?
Dollars.
But during the Depression, they paid $7,500, which today would be what? A couple. I guess a lot of money.
Well, during the Depression, nobody had money to.
7,500 today would probably be worth maybe 40 or 50,000. And besides that, that a choir director that was paid $3,500 to lead the choir. We sang from notes. This is not just something we learned, but everybody knew how to read notes.
So you had a book with you when you were singing?
We stood on the dinner, we stood with a book, and we sang compositions that were published compositions.
And did the congregation sing along with you, or they listened more?
We sang what the composer wrote. Fact of the matter is, your brother-in-law, David, has got a number of my volumes.
Oh yeah, you took him?
We better have him.
I've never heard of him, Zayda.
Don't tell them
You
that.
didn't tell us about it. I bet you he lost him.
He got some very, very valuable things. Composers, compositions, printed books. I tell you, the bima was so big that there were 4 basses, 4 tenors, 8 boy altos, and 8 boy sopranos who stood on the bima, besides the choir director and the chazan.
And did you perform outside of the shul?
No, in shul strictly.
Oh, on Shabbos or only?
And this is the days when on Shabbos and high holidays, the shamash and the president and the vice president used to put on top hats.
They still do that in New York City. There's one shul that does it still.
What's the like in Beth Shalom what they used to wear? The hat?
Zayda, would you do it every Shabbos or?
much in there. Do you know?
Say hi, Bubby.
Oh, don't take a picture. Put your lamb out on the slide.
Go on
and
the side,
then,
go on the side.
we'll stand there.
We have to do it quickly.
Ora, say hi. Ora, tell Ora, tell.
Look at this flower, this flower, this flower.
Wow, they're beautiful. Ora, tell Ema where we are right now.
Zayda, come on in.
Ora, tell Ema where we are right now.
Quickly. Where?
We're in Israel.
It's gonna go down. Let them go down. And then we'll come back up.
We.
Okay, turn around. I'm on the wrong side.
Mordechai, where are we?
On the wall.
Where?
There's some. There's slime.
Michael, turn around.
All right.
Oh,
Go downstairs. Go down here.
What?
Go down the stairs. Go down here.
Can we go to the park, Daddy?
You guys want to go to the park? Okay.
I went to the park already. Let's go to the park. Anywhere. I knew I should have brought my soccer ball.
Say hi, Mike.
I need water, Mommy.
All right, there's our water bottles right on the bench. Michael, say hi. Say hi to Ema.
No, but what Hannah said to me, she said, I hope this doesn't mean you're going to give up the cake. No, you're going to come back and
This is Pesach 2006.
You did it, Michael. Look, Jay,
Boa, where are we? Not in Mitzrayim, we're in Yerushalayim. Yerushalayim.
all right, great.
Out.
then you move to, who knows, where? Israel, right. And we did just now, this was even in Israel. I talked to my sister who lives in Israel, and they had a parade, and they were dancing, and they were dressed in blue and white, and we're doing the same things because we... What do you זה צבע שלי, כחול ולבן, צבעי אדמתי, כחול ולבן, כחול ולבן, זה צבע שלי, כל ימי עד עולם. The blue and the white, these colors are mine. The blue and the white, till the end of time. The blue and the white, the blue and the white, Yom Yerushalayim to SAR. Yay! Something to spend and something to share. Yes, that's what money is for. Now I am little to give. But when I grow big, I'll give more. Something to spend and something to share. Yes, that's
What happened? A little higher? Okay.
Your data's sitting better for the cake.
Find the battery? One at a time, girl.
Man, you guys are pretty good.
Let
Look at you guys
Racheli
crawling all over
go.
the floor.
Racheli didn't have a turn. Let
Okay,
Racheli
never
go.
turn. Keep on going, Racheli. Ba 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 ba. Ba-da-ba-da. Now, everyone, happy birthday to you. Happy Happy birthday, dear Princess Aura. Happy birthday to you. Yeah, look at that cake. Is that cool? Huh? Yom Huladet Sameach. Yom Huladet Sameach. Yom Huladet Sameach. Yom Huladet Sameach. All right, make a big wish. Blow 'em out. Here, I get a little closer. All right, how about everybody help? Should we all help?
All right. Everybody has like your.
On three, everybody on three together. One, blow, 1, 2, 3.
Steve, I forgot a knife.
Uh-oh.
Okay.
You what?
Yeah.
You want some cake?
You want this for the camera?
Your Dana?
You getting this good?
Your Dana?
No, I need a big knife.
Oh my God! We just got Shannon.
You get a picture of the cake?
Your Dana? Can you leave that?
Mike, you want some cake?
Want some cake
Yeah,
first?
this is good.
Yeah, so it's fine.
Mike, you want cake?
Right now it's small. It doesn't feel close. We
Want some cake? Let's have some cake. Then we'll go finish the bite.
Here.
Let's take it with us. Finish the bite with us, okay? Let's take it with us.
See that? Look.
Here, look. Can you wave? Up. Up. Yeah, you look. What? You see yourself here?
Where's your train?